I think I was reading that they still have like 4 out of the 5 top selling jerseys. Cowboys. Romo was up there. Des Bryant, Witten, and then Zeke Elliott. It's kind of crazy, man. So even though I'm not a Cowboys fan, I gotta assume it's because they draw on a huge Hispanic market why they are so popular. And obviously the state of Texas is huge, but it seems like that's a big reason why they have a strong following.
Dallas Cowboys is they are who they are, man. It's Jerry kind of he's kind of like an Al Davis, and he takes these the ragamuffins, these offshoot players, and gives them second chances, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hey, it's football. Move on.
I think the Vikings should pick up Nick Foles as a backup. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, maybe if it can work, and I don't know the money involved with that, but I don't know. I don't know. It's nothing that really gets me going.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. You're probably gonna completely disagree with me, but what are your thoughts on the NFL doing away with kickoffs? And really, because I kind of agree. I think they need to. And the reason I ask you this is,
go ahead.
All right. So throughout sports, that have been traditionally unsafe, they've made drastic changes to try to make them safer. So, like, take, for instance, these dumbasses that do bull riding. Remember back in the days, they just wore cowboy hats. Now they wear the damn full hockey helmet, face mask. You know what I'm saying? Yes. They make kids wear mouthpieces. There's a ton of sports now that you just have to alter things to make it more safe, because at some point in time, the government is going to step in and we're going to have no football at all. So I don't have a problem with taking off the onside and the kick return.
Hey, and before I expand on that, I just wanted to get that Ninja's comment in here. He says, dollars, I don't understand Todd Bowles releasing Mike Vick when he finally got a receiver, and I don't understand starting Fitzpatrick or hiring the offensive coordinator that he hired. The only thing I can come up with is that they didn't give him full control as far as Brandon Marshall. He's been in trouble, so he's just trying to kiss ass, get a job at the 4-letter network when he retires. Thoughts?
Ooh, you know what? I had been saying that before, though, that Bowles didn't get as much power as everybody wanted to say that he did. He's a great coach, but I kind of agree with Ninja on that regarding possibly Brandon Marshall wants to get a job at the end. He's very articulate. He's very well spoken. He's pretty good. But the whole Fitzpatrick thing, I don't understand. I'm just going to assume that the players do not like Geno Smith.
Okay, and that may be a fair assumption. We don't know, obviously, because we're not there. But getting on to your point, again, this is the Sports and More Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. And you can also find us on xsquadaffiliates.com. And also, we got to give shouts out to the other host on there. We got the Kicking It with Kesey show, our main man Kesey Ingram doing his thing. We got Spicy Conversations for the After Hours set, along with the Lonely Hearts Cafe, hosted by Togo Coles. And, Eat, Sleep, Grind, Repeat, man. You got Jersey out there, the Chief Rocker. Get his music going here. Chief, man, he's the hardest working man on Spreaker there, Reg.
No, I love the Chief, number one, Chief Rocker. Funny brother. That Ninja said kickoffs are a part of the game. That's not changing the rule. That's changing the game and taking an element out of it, an athletic element, by the way. Ninja, I agree with you. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there.
You're good.
I totally agree with Ninja. I heard, who was it? I think it was this yesterday. It was the Miami coach, Coach Rick. And I think that he was the one talking about, or it may have been someone else, I don't know. But anyway, this coach on ESPN, Mike and Mike's show, was talking about removing the game and, how basically the physicality of the kickoff play, these bodies full speed going at each other and launching into each other. And in today's world, the concussions and post-traumatic stress, things like that, and how bad that was. He makes a good case for it, but I think that it's part of the game. I don't see – and look, I don't know. I'm not privy to the info. Are there a lot of players getting hurt on kickoffs? I mean, we see these big hits every once in a while, and I get that, but I think that there's just been a lot of altering, or the commissioner here, Goodell, wanting to alter the actual game, and I'm just not a fan of that. So I totally agree with that Ninja on that point.
Yeah, but if you look at even back, Little League right now, they've altered it. Now they have weight requirements. So if the kid is over a certain weight, he can't carry the ball. He's got to stay on the line. Now, you remember when that was?
I get you. But that's Little League, man. I'm talking about the NFL here.
But listen, it all filters all the way up. They're going to start taking the kickoffs away from Little Leagues. I guarantee you, before long, middle school, high school, a lot of your injuries happen on kickoffs. So all I'm saying, I don't disagree, but would you rather have no football or some football is what I'm saying? Because, once the government gets involved, and they just found out that they lied about the NFL lied about some sort of concussion study or something.
Made a movie about it.
It's not good. There's some report that came out too with Little Leagues, and that the numbers were wrong. I'm telling you, man, I don't have an issue with changing parts of the game to make it safer, to keep it around, because I think it's going to be extinct in the near future. It's damn near gladiator sport, really.
Spoken like a true baseball coach.
Here we go. I did play football in high school.
Whoa, hold up. Stop the clock. You played football in high school?
Damn right.
Hold on, man. What position did you play?
I was running back, man. I was nice. I was nifty.
Wow.
I had like Dave Meggett type game. Actually, Eric Metcalf. I don't know. You might not remember that name. So
I remember Dave Meggett.
Yeah, I was nice.
I'm just trying to picture you out there at 5'2". Well, I suppose they couldn't see you, so maybe that did work for you.
I was probably about 5'4". I was nice, man. I mean, they probably had. Did you even play any physical sports? Huh? With your DeBarge looking ass back in the day, that Jerry curl and that little porn stash you had back in the 80s. Wow.
Reggie, first off, at least I have something on my face. First off, yes, I did. I played football. I actually only played football, and this is the one I really do regret. I played 1 year of high school football. My neighborhood, all my friends were on me for years and years and years to play football. I actually played, started off in park board baseball, came up, we did a couple years of Babe Ruth. Things like that. So, and baseball turned out to be my best sport, and that's what I kind of focus on up until a point, and then got into football. But I was one of them kids in school, man, that just, grades. Why worry about grades? Let's just have a good time, And it came back and bit me my senior year, and I wasn't able to play my senior year because I had to focus on graduating. So,
did you have a Jerry curl back then too?
No, yeah, you're funny. No,
right, greasing the ball. Your ass was greasing the ball, cheating ass.
Exactly, you're a funny guy. But hey, led my baseball team in home runs and RBIs for a couple years, so that was good. And and that's why I was kind of tough on my son coming up and my nephew who is trying to get recruited now. He's playing high school football and he plays soccer and stuff, and that's why I tell him. And all the other kids out there that are good in school, keep going with your school because you're going to get not only academic scholarship, but, if you do get a sports scholarship, that's just gravy on top of everything else. So
I can see you probably were a pretty good baseball player. That Ninja said people have actually died in the boxing ring. This is nothing more than the hot story at the moment. Football is not going anywhere. The one thing I will say, though, if I'm correct, Ninjas used to go, 15 rounds? How many rounds was it back in the days?
Well, Ninjas and them white folks, apparently. You both used to go 15 rounds back in the old days, man, until what we talked about. Yeah, after that, remember my guest on the Sports Done Right show, Nori Bramble, when his father fought Ray Mancini, and Mancini had beat Dooku Kim in a fight and killed, and he died after the fight, Dooku Kim, a very good South Korean fighter. And that's when that change happened. They went from 15 rounds down to 12.
And then how they also, if I'm correct, changed the ounce gloves. Am I right about that?
You can either do 12-ounce gloves or 10-ounce gloves.
Okay, so that ninja said that this ninja just used the word nifty. Grego said, LOL. Yes, I did. I was nice. But here's the funny part, though. I end up. So I would actually, matter of fact, this is probably why I want to change the damn kickoff rule. So I was on the scout team. And
there we go. Now that sounds familiar.
I was like a sophomore, right? So they put me on kick returns, and I returned 2 back-to-back. But the problem is I never went through the wedge. That whole wedge thing to me was dumb. So I would hit the wedge, and then I would dip outside, and I was gone. I kid you not. And then so we had an old school coach. He was like, Lawrence. I was like, yeah, coach. He was like, get your ass and hit that damn wedge. I was like, but I just scored, coach. I don't care, Lawrence. So third kickoff, I hit the wedge, and, man, I got knocked into next year. I was so concussed, but back then I got dinged up. So, I ended up leaving.
We're finally figuring it out. You've been concussed. You've been dropped on your head. It's starting to make sense now, Reg.
I definitely have a few too many hits to the head, but I shifted focus to soccer and baseball. I was always nice in baseball. The grades weren't there either, sir. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I can tell you, man. It's one of the things in life that the Gov looks back on, what could have been. What could have been.
I'll tell you a funny story. You know how you talk about how you're hard on your kids, man. To this day, I go back and I hang out with my boys. And my boys that I play baseball with, they'll be like, yo, Reg, man, you remember that story about your moms? And I was like, I don't even want to talk about it. So I'm in high school, and we're in the middle of a league game. It was probably the 4th inning. Car pulls up. Black lady gets out. My teammates are like, yo, Reg, is that your mom's? I was like, I look over. Damn Skippy. It was Mary Smith. She got out of the car and proceeded.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, finish it, though, in case people haven't heard it.
So she proceeds to walk down the little bank onto the field, call timeout. The umpires, everybody's looking at me like, yo, what's up with this crazy, angry black woman? Proceeds to snatch my ass, all my equipment, everything off the field, and I had to leave in the middle of the game, man. Never lived that down to this day. Even I go back and my boys all make fun of me. So I agree with you about the grades, man. I look back and that's something I wish I would have, definitely did a better job at for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So got the lovely Denise Milk and Cookies joining us. The First Lady says Vince was wondering if they were going to pull him off stage at graduation. Unfortunately, the First Lady ain't that far off from the truth, man.
Hey, I got a question for the First Lady. Did she meet you when you had that fresh Jerry curl?
Moving on. That ninja says about Reggie being on the scout team, fresh meat. Absolutely.
I got destroyed. I never understood going through the wedge. I'm like, that ish is stupid. You need to break it to the outside and use your speed, dog.
Hey, speaking of which, and using your speed and breaking it to the outside, Reggie with them tiny little feet and them little legs. Can you picture that little guy running towards the sidelines, making that turn up field? Them little itty bitty squatty legs of his.
Remember the Ice Cube, Gerald McNeil, used to play for the Browns? I'm telling you, man, I was nice. Like my man Grego said, I was Maurice Jones-Drew up in that bitch.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Had me back having flashbacks of my all-star performance back in high school.
Folks, you're listening to the Sports and More Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We got our first break coming up here in a little bit, but a little preview, and we are the Sports and More Show. So, Reggie, I wanted to ask you, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am the sports governor. I am running. Well, am I running unopposed? Who knows? Maybe that guy from Mississippi will show back up again. But what do you think, man? Democratic National Convention time. We had the Republicans and Donald Trump and the posse last week, and all kinds of shenanigans going down. At the Republican convention, Ted Cruz running rogue and whatnot. And then you come on over to the Democrats this week, man. And you got, in my opinion, a totally different scene. It started off a little